Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing here in Dallas, Texas. What I have here is this panel. This panel has Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish on it. It's been on there for about a week or so, 7 to 10 days. It's fully cured, it's sitting on the panel. I want to do a review, going to bring you in on the testing moment on this particular product here called Americana Ceramic Prep Stripper. This is a body solvent, this is a paint prep. I also want to talk about how to use a body solvent properly. I've talked about body solvents and paint preps, especially when they're solvent-based. Solvent-based paint preps are nice because they have the ability to break down greases and oils, waxes, old waxes and sealants. As a mobile detailer, it's not so easy for what I'm about to do, but when you want to use a body solvent, much like this stripper from Americana Global, what you want to do if you're not working in direct sunlight, you're working in a controlled environment, you want to spray this on the panel and you kind of want to saturate it a little bit. I know some of you are going, holy crap, that's a lot of product. Aren't I wasting a lot of money? Well, with a body solvent, you want to make sure that you let it saturate and you let it dwell for about a minute. This is really important. As a mobile detailer, I don't always have this luxury, so I may have to spray it on the microfiber towel, massage it into the paint, and then buff out. I may have to do that a couple of times to be really effective, especially if whatever's on the paint is fresh or tenacious. So I'm going to let that dwell there for a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fold up my microfiber towel and just simply apply a little bit more to the microfiber towel. Couple of spritz on there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to massage Americana Global's body prep, body solvent, paint prep, however you want to look at it, onto this panel, and then I'm going to hit it with water and see if I've had any ability to kind of remove Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish, which has been on there for about 7 to 10 days. What I do like about Americana Global's body solvent, it's stripper. It's very slick under the microfiber towel. I can tell it's a body solvent. It's not just isopropyl alcohol and water. I can smell those solvents within the solution. And I tell you what, when you use it, it will be a little streaky, a lot like most solvent-based paint preps. But when I let it sit there streaky, it'll start to evaporate and flash on its own. And as it does it, it doesn't really leave any residue behind. That's really nice. I love that. Let me hit it with water and see if I've been able to reduce this sealant by Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish off this panel. Well, on the first go round, the answer is no. I still have a lot of water beading, a lot of water sheeting, but I tell you what, let me hit it with the blow dryer and try again. Hang tight with me, folks. Whoops, as I unplug my own blower. Hold on guys, so sorry. Let me try it again with the same procedure. Let's see if the second time it will remove it. Again, you got to remember this sealant's only been on there for 7-10 days. That can be very difficult to remove for just about any body solvent out there. Most body solvents, paint preps are very effective when a wax or a sealant is 30 days or older. But let me go in here, just kind of apply more to the panel. Get it on there, let it dwell a little bit. Then I'll put some more on the microfiber towel just like I did last time, and then I'll massage it into the paint once again and see if we can get a better effect the second time around. Alright, my towel's getting a little saturated, but that's okay. That means we got a lot of product of this stripper on there, right? That solvent is hopefully breaking down, dissolving all those wax polymers or sealant polymers, however you want to look at it, and then I just simply want to buff out. Again, the product is very slick under the microfiber towel. I like that. I'm not concerned about having any marring in the issue. Any streaks that are on the panel will evaporate very quickly without having any type of residue behind, so that's pretty cool. Actually, my towel is pretty saturated, but It's slowly starting to flash on its own. It looks great. Let me go ahead and hit it with water and see if we've been able to knock it down anymore after this second attempt. Folks, unfortunately the answer is no. It's still beating off water just fine, still sheeting off water. I still see some of the protection left over from the Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish. Can you guys see that? Can you see the water beating on that panel? I think you guys can, right? The water sheeting is incredibly fast with Meguiar's Ultimate Fast Finish. That's cool. Folks, I want to try something else. I've done that panel now twice with Americana Stripper. What I'm going to do, I do not advise you to do this at home. Scott, what are you going to do? What I'm going to do is take some APC. This is Simple Green, diluted 10:1. I'm going to lightly spray it onto the panel. I'm not going to let it dwell. I do not advise you to do this at home. I want to make a point about what I'm seeing on the market with body solvents and paint preps. So I'm going to go ahead, just do that. Then what I'm going to do is take a separate microfiber towel. This is a little bit wet. Let me wring it out. Sorry, folks. Let me see what I'm doing here. So sorry. Bear with me. I want to massage that off the paint as quick as I can. Again, don't do this at home, folks. This isn't advised to use an APC 10:1 on your paint. But I kind of want to make a point about what I'm seeing with body solvents and paint preps on the market. Now let me go ahead and rinse that off and see what we've got. Well, folks, that completely did it. The panel is incredibly flat. There is no water beading. The sheeting is drastically slow right now, except for the high spot, the way this hood is kind of designed, but there is no water beading. It's completely flat and just slowly starting to sheet off water. Scott, what's your point if you don't want us using APC directly on the paint? Folks, a lot of these strippers on the market, I'm concerned with their level of concentration because they're so expensive. If they can't do it the first time, they can't do it the second time, they may begin to do it the third time, or maybe it takes 4 times to completely remove it, yet an APC at 10:1 will remove it quickly. We need to try to find a balance within my industry. A lot of these strippers are incredibly ineffective with being able to do it efficiently is really my point here. They're so expensive, and I'm trying to justify the cost. If it's going to be this difficult to remove a wax or sealant from the paint, but an APC can do it, I need to find a happy balance, a really nice sweet spot between the two of them to be able to do it effectively as a professional. I find a lot of these paint preps, unfortunately, and body solvents on the market, even when they're solvent-based, aren't really all that effective. Again, Travis with Americana Global, I'm not trying to beat you up here. You're not the only one I see this with, but I just find that the cost of these things, the amount of product that you have to use, they're just not all that efficient. They're not all that effective. They are eventually effective. I'm not saying they won't get the job done, but it's a lot of product used, a lot of labor to get there, yet an APC can do it pretty quickly. So there's body solvents out there that respond better than this. There are, obviously an APC works really, really well, but I can put APC in a bucket with my car soap and kind of dilute it high with the APC, and I would have a much easier time removing the wax and sealant from this panel than trying to use a body solvent that comes from a lot of these, resellers of these products, and it would just cost way too much money, be ineffective, and I would have to do it 2, 3, maybe 4 times to completely get the job done. I do like the fact that Travis's Americana Global Stripper leaves no residue behind. It's nice and slick under the microfiber towel, and I'm not beating up Travis here because I like a lot of his products. But this is very common within my industry with a lot of these strippers or body solvents or paint preps. They're just going to cost you a lot more time, and unfortunately there's an expense to it. You have to decide, putting APC in a bucket, maybe hitting it quickly with an APC, rinsing it off quick and then washing. Try to figure out the sweet spot for you, because some of these things are very expensive, and in my opinion, I'm sorry folks, I'm sorry to be so honest, they're expensive. For their lack of performance, eventually you'll get there. If that's okay with you, then this is perhaps a product for you. I love you all. I'll talk to you soon.